Alright, so this is just a Vexor with a full Tech 1 fit. Just to show how cheap you can get into Abyssal dead space. This whole fit's about 14.3 mil. So 2 cap recharges, an EM Resist, 3 smart bombs, a drone link, 2 cap 1s and a Afterburner, and also a web, a damage control, armor wrap, Energized, membrane, and 2 drone damage amps. You want to keep your targeting range close to 60 Ks and your drone control range close to 60 for the battleships. 2 flights of lights and 1 mixed flight of 2 heavies, 2 mediums, and 1 light for the battleships. We'll be doing an EM penalty tier 1 Abyssal dead space, which also has the benefit of increasing cap recharge, which is good since the Vexor has a high EM passive, natural EM resist anyway. Some information there. There we go. So just to recap, this is a full Tech 1 with mods, so as your skills increase you'll obviously be able to replace mods with higher tech modules as your wallet fits. It's taking a bit. Alright, so it looks like a single battleship. So we're going to head towards it. Not directly though, so we're going to put the ship in the middle of a screen and click in between it and the left hand side of our screen, so we approach it on an angle. That makes it harder for it to hit us. And once we get within 60 we will launch our drones, as I can control out to 61 I believe. We want to get damage on that as soon as possible before it regens its shields, because if we wait to get there it'll be at least half shield. So out go the drones. We're going to keep, as we get closer, we're going to keep recentering the ship and double clicking in between it and the left hand side of the screen. And this is where a more micro warp drive might be handy to get there quicker, but it will bloom the signature, so you will take more damage approaching. So I prefer to run with an Afterburner. The fit is cap stable without the smart bombs, which is very situational. You won't use them very often, but you can leave those, the Repper and the Afterburner, on non-stop. So I think the drones will kill this before we even get in range. Taking some damage. So the reason for the damage control in the lows too actually is because you're going to use some of your hull as part of your tank. Let's target the cache there. So the loot in these actually spawns inside that cache there, not on the actual NPCs themselves. So it's almost done, and we are not even near it. Drones are almost done. Give me a second now. Alright, so send the drones in on that. Alright, the gate's opened up so you can go to the next one. Alright, put the drones away and go get some loot. In we go. So this is probably where a micro warp drive would be handy. Just zoom about. Still have plenty of time though, that was quite quick for the first pocket. fantastic. Jump into the next one. If you have the time to look around, these are great visually. I believe that tower there actually just increases your tracking if you're within its range. So it's not really one for you to look out for, but you don't want to put anything bigger than you in it. So let me go for the second one. Right, so here I've got these three. So I'm just going to approach one of these and put our drones out. I'm just going to use light drones for that. Ah, drone's attacking the wrong one. That's alright. Get repairing. Try to keep an eye on your drones. Sometimes they will swap targets onto them. Taking quite a bit of damage here. I think instead of trying to brawl them, it may be easier to orbit a static. Something like the gate, so we'll try that. Overload the repairer for a little bit, try to get more reps in. Make sure we don't burn it out though. Probably, yeah, turn that off. I don't want to lose that just yet. Seem to be taking less damage just moving away from them, so I think this is probably better than trying to brawl with them, since we don't actually have any weapons ourselves. So just orbit the gate and leave our drones on them, keep an eye on them. They're not being yellow boxed at the moment, so that's good. We are quite low in armor, but like I said, the structure is actually part of our tank, so just orbit that and alright, probably should have done this from the start. It's just headed straight up. Orbited this. This is much better. Web it for our drones. So yeah, I think I would have been much better off to just head straight for this and start orbiting it. You can see in the background some shattered asteroids and that. It's quite nice when you've got time to look around in these. So I think the DPS with the lights is about 110 with the 2 drone damage amplifiers. These are also just Acolyte ones. Again, that's the cache that drops the loot, so we'll just get the drones on that. Go see what dropped here. So we're at about 80% structure, but the reps will take care of our armor, so that won't be too much of an issue. slow boating is quite... No, 11 minutes, it's fine. Slow boating is quite painful with an Afterburner. I don't know if I would recommend a micro warp drive. But again, this is a 14.3mm ISK fit, so it's quite cheap. It is just a tier 1 Abyssal dead space, but you don't need to be spending hundreds of millions just to try these out. A little bit more loot. Okay. Alright, and off to the last one. 86 there. Right, we're about 10, 11 minutes in, so. Right, so we'll approach that. Here we have a whole bunch of little drones. So this is where you can use your smart bombs, but you don't want to be using your drones with the smart bombs. See, it actually does a decent amount of damage to them, assuming they stay within the 4-kilometer range, which varies. You actually don't have to target them. You target these 3 drone controllers. The drones are kinda... I mean, obviously you want to kill them to lessen your damage received, but you actually only need to kill those 3 that are controlling the actual drones. Now we're quite far away from the tower. The current tower is the one that does damage to the drones, so we can probably try to fly into it, but it will damage our own drones. It can be a tactic you can use. Again, we're repairing the incoming damage quite well. Not too bad. So hopefully this guy goes soon. Our drones seem to be far away from us. Do a couple of pulses of smart bombs, but not much need to occur that. He's up close. Nice as he. Just approach him to keep him webbed for our drones. One of our drones have taken some damage, but seems to probably bring that in actually. Bring him in, come on. Use that. Alright, so they've released another batch of drones. Release fresh drones onto this guy. Orbit that again, actually, we'll do the same thing. One down to one. Drones that are out, we can just ignore them. So I think once this guy dies, they won't attack us. destroy this cache, see if we get any more loot. We don't seem to be taking any damage from the other drones, so I think they just go inactive once the controllers die. Don't seem to be taking me at all. Alright, so that says like 14 million loot. I believe this would be work out to about half that, around the 7 mil mark. So, I mean, the loot is random, but you could be looking at 2 of these sites will pretty much pay your ship off. Also, you will have to repair the drone. I think I got it with 1 drone. There was damage and the structure of the ship. But, yeah, not a bad little site. And you can do it on the cheap. You don't have to be spending hundreds of millions of ISK to get into these. These are only tier 1, so they're supposed to be, assuming they're supposed to be done on the cheap. So, yeah. Tier 1 Vexor, all tier 1 mods, all tech 1 mods I should say, sorry. Nothing fancy at all. And it says 24, but these keys don't come to that much, so there you go. Again, just to look at the fit again, it's all tech 1, nothing fancy. Should note this is not an alpha clone, but this ship and fit is alpha clone friendly. So, and yeah, just a little bit of damage there to repair. So, thanks for that, guys. Hope you enjoyed.